Hey there.
Hi.
Hi again.
Oh, look at this. I didn't even get to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I made a cup of tea, but I didn't quite get my snack done, so I might have to jump. So Danielle, how's your summer been so far?
What's that?
How's your beginning of summer been so far?
Good. Good. Yeah, we went camping for Memorial Day and
Oh, wow. That's brave.
yeah, it was nice. We went swimming in a river.
Whoa.
Oh no, Dennis. Okay, Dennis is struggling. Let
All right, well,
me,
you have time for my snack.
yeah, go get your snack.
I ate a giant burrito and I'm so thirsty. It was like a salt burrito. Go outside. Go outside. Where did you go camping?
Ogden? It's like a camp, like 3 miles west of Paulina Lake. So it's the east side of the mountains.
Oh,
Yeah.
we need to figure out how to go camping better. We have a big, giant, fancy Sprinter van now.
Wow.
No, it's very fancy.
That seems like you figured it out.
Well, but we're not using it enough. But part of it is because we like mostly between my daughter and my husband's schedules, it's just like really hard to find time. Like when she was little, we had a Eurovan for years, and she was little, and it was so easy. Like you just throw her in the Eurovan, and she can't say anything about it. But now she's all busy and full of opinions, so it's like and bigger, takes up more space.
Okay, I don't
So
know why Dennis is struggling.
No, so no, it sounds like you didn't have anything to add about other concerns or risks about doing the trip.
but
You joined from the email or from?
I just joined, I went down the reminder that sent this morning.
Oh, here he is.
I just clicked join webinar and it opened right up.
There we go. Hi, Dennis. I'm moving you over.
There he is. There he is.
I didn't get the link. And so I was trying to go in from the web page and it said it wouldn't let me in as a panelist, but it wouldn't let me in as an observer either. So
Did you not get an email reminder this morning that said you will have a meeting in an hour?
no, I didn't get the reminder. I'm not getting
That's so
links
weird.
for
Are you
meetings.
checking
It's very
did you check
weird.
your spam? Because you're on
And
you're
it's
on the
happening
list.
for other things. No, I've checked spam. Some weird thing is archiving stuff that
Oh,
has
that must be it.
I tried to do some e-contracts with eWeb for my solar panel and all of that, and it was a mess. So I don't know, it's some weird archive thing that's beyond my understanding. So somebody has, that's Jan's lovely break front, right? So
Yes. She's getting a snack.
And then Lily's running late.
yeah, she said she'd be running late. So
I'm here. Hello, Dennis.
hello.
Oh, there's Lily. She's right there.
Hello, Lily. We're all here.
She's not very much late.
No. Hey,
Your
Lily.
best time.
Good job on your scholarship stuff and your awards from Thursday.
Oh,
Oh.
thanks. I'm at South right now.
Oh,
I'm heading. Oh, I'm going to one of the teachers' offices.
I hooted for you. If you heard someone yelling when you were walking up, that was me. So, yeah, good job. It was a award ceremony Thursday night, and of course Lily had a couple.
Congratulations.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Must feel good to
indeed.
getting finished with all this stuff.
Wait, Lily, are you a senior?
No, she's a sophomore.
Yeah.
Getting all kinds of awards, surrounded by seniors, all getting awards, and
Wow. No surprise.
Mhm. It was good though. It was fun. It was long, a little long.
Before we get into it, I have to leave at 2:30, so I'm gonna transfer hosting to Dennis.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw that. Oh. And let's get rolling. I sent out the kind of list earlier today of what we've got and what dates we've got coming. And we don't have, based on the commission full meeting or anybody else we've heard from, folks who are available this coming Saturday. I'm not, because I've got a memorial in Roseburg and nobody else seemed to be as of the last meeting. So unless somebody is available kind of like last minute, we're not going to be able to do Bethel.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dennis, I can't do that one either.
No, and it just is what it is. So
It's graduation, so there's stuff happening like on and off all day,
yeah,
for me.
no, I get that. I get that. So I will email back and just says, I'm sorry, unfortunately, members of the commission all have conflicts on that day. We'd welcome the opportunity in the fall to come do a presentation at one of your meetings. So maybe we'll pick them up on that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, what are we gonna do?
Yep. We are who we are. We've got commitments all over the place. So, but at any rate. But then the other ones coming up, I think we've got plenty of time. The 25th is Jefferson West Side, and August 4th, Laurel Hill. And then you've got us for Southeast Neighbors for September 7th, right?
Yep, I'm pretty sure I'm double checking that.
So do we want to try to table anywhere else? Is a question we started to address at the larger commission meeting.
I think if we get interest, yeah, we should.
And
So far, there was only one that was interested in the presentation, though, is that correct?
Yeah, so far the only presentation we've got is, I think it's Jefferson West Side in September. Yeah, September. I'm not finding that date. So I'll find that date and get that date back to you. But I've got that from Jefferson West Side.
so I think the key is getting commissioners to go to to do the tabling beyond our committee, right? I mean, I think that's,
And that's why we put it out to the general meeting last
Yeah.
time, and I put it out again this week before we get to our next meeting. Well, next meeting's a week from Wednesday. I don't know if there's a point unless we want to do a last ditch effort. Well, if none of us are there, I don't know if we want to try to do Saturday the 8th.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I
So,
agree.
okay, so Saturday the 8th isn't happening. And
Ninth.
then we'll make the pitch again. I mean, Sunday's the
Is it
9th.
Sunday or Saturday?
Well, it says the
There's
9th.
Saturday. Have I got it 9th? Let me see.
Said your
Okay.
email. said the 9th.
No, their event's Saturday.
Oh, the
So
8th.
that's the 8th, right?
Yeah,
That's what I
'cause
thought, that it
night
wouldn't be on a,
becomes
yeah.
Sunday. Yeah, it's the 8th. The 8th is the correct date.
Okay.
I just double checked it.
Does it make sense? It may not make sense, but to send an email to all the commissioners with the tabling dates that we want to do, like looking forward, like in. As
Yeah, do
opposed
we
to just
want, yeah,
mentioning
we can do that both,
it.
and I can make a pitch at the meeting next week, as well as do an email to everyone.
I think an email is a good thing to do, and we really could use probably more than 2 people per tabling deal, because, sometimes they go on for hours, and, it's nice to trade off after a couple hours, so.
Yeah, yeah, so I'll do an email pitching them all to everybody and then bring it up again on Saturday. I mean, on a week from Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meeting on the little info fried today. I've been writing all morning. And then somebody from a congregation in Roseburg sent me a different topic that they want to talk about. And one of the key issues in our tradition is I get to talk about what I want to talk about. It's called freedom of the pulpit, and they have the freedom of the pew. They could choose not to show up, but it's my topic.
So,
At any rate.
So Dennis, primarily the question for Dennis and Devin, since you went to neighborhood leaders, and Dennis, I know you've been reaching out to people. What do you think is our best strategy for trying to line up things, either for tabling or presentations, going into the fall, into the summer?
Well, I'll start, and then Devin, you can comment, but my sense is, the neighborhood leaders group said, yeah, we know all about this. And then the questions they asked reflected that they really didn't. And that, it might be valuable for neighborhood folks to hear the presentation. But there wasn't there wasn't really any interest in that group. And I got the Jefferson West Side after a follow-up. And I'll be pitching again my neighborhood. I don't know that the neighborhood associations are that interested a target group.
Oh,
Well, I think I totally agree with what Dennis had to say, and I kind of mentioned that a little bit before to you, Jan, but I also think the NLC is not the gatekeepers of the neighborhood associations either. I think we need to remember that. They think that they are. They are clearly not, and um I think reaching out to the individual chairs of the neighborhood associations is going to be the real way to find out what neighborhood associations want.
And
that's what
I did
Yeah.
a blanket mailing to that list.
you did. What?
A blanket mailing to the list that Devin had put together as those co-chair lists.
Mhm.
And that's where I got the reply from Jefferson West Side and Laurel Hill, as well as the individual outreach that was recommended that we make to Bethel.
Yeah, that
So,
seems really good to me. That seems like progress.
Yeah,
And 3 is a lot, honestly.
yeah.
And then we're just in a state of transition at Southeast Neighbors, so I'm definitely gonna bring it up when we have a retreat this week. So I might be able to bring that up and say, hey, if this is something we might want to do at a general meeting, if the Environmental Stewardship Committee is in charge of the general meeting, then I will be reaching out to the Sustainability Commission for that. So it's there, it's floating out there. And again, to Dennis's point, people don't know what the Sustainability Commission is. I mean, they just don't.
So I guess I was wondering if, thanks for all of that so far and reaching out, doing the email and stuff. Would you like to have help following up on some of those individual neighborhoods?
well, the individuals we've heard back, I think part of the pitch to commission is if we each reach out to our neighborhood associations at the very least, as members of the commission, we could reach out to our neighborhood leaders and say, I would like my neighbors to know about the work we're doing on behalf of all of you.
Right.
That's the follow-up I'm doing with Laurel Hill that'll hopefully get us in a fall meeting as well. So I think that's our next step if we ask individually in our neighborhoods. I mean, we can count on Southeast because you're there, Devin. But where we have opportunities in neighborhoods, we should follow up on.
Sure. Danielle had her hand up.
I was gonna say too, I mean, another way to go about it is like, are there events that commissioners feel excited about tabling out, whether it's a neighborhood commission meeting or not, or a neighborhood meeting or not? Like, I know when I had floated the idea of like Juneteenth, Mitra and Laura both perked up. I'm like, oh, we'd be interested in doing that. Turns out that event got canceled for this year, but like, people might feel more excited about tabling an event that they are excited about in general.
Sure.
That might reach a broader audience. Like,
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would be.
really, is that resonating for you at all? Like, as someone.
Fossil Free Coalition tabled at Pride.
Yeah,
Do we want to table
Pride
at
could be a
Pride?
good one. Pride could be a good
Pride's
one.
one of the bigger events in town. I've tabled at also that coalition at Asian celebration.
Asian celebration.
Oh, okay.
What if we just, speaking of the agenda for the next meeting, Danielle?
Yeah.
What if we put like, do we have 5 minutes to sort of discuss like, I mean, it's tricky because it's our last meeting. So how do we organize commissioners to do a tabling event when there's no meetings? Do we keep having education and outreach committee meetings and invite commissioners to join and tell us what events they want to do? I mean, how do we orchestrate asking them what events interest them and then following through, I guess,
I'm
over
going
the
to work with a sub list of commissioners who are willing to be tablers. And maybe we can establish that at the next meeting and email follow-up. And then we could do some scheduling meetings with that group.
There's no reason we can't continue a meeting as a committee or a subgroup, right, Danielle, over when we're not having regular commission meetings.
Right.
I mean, I think that's probably fine for this committee. Technically, I think the work plan ends June 31st, but like the mayor and Councilor Semple had both, like they both understood that this tabling was going to be happening over the summer, so I'm fine with it. I mean, what I need from you guys is a list of what you want people to table about. Did that ever get created?
The materials.
Yeah, you sent out those materials, and I think having those materials, some copies available that people can take away a paper copy or photograph from their phones is when we encourage, just so there's less paper. Materials to have, and we have a survey, and you sent that out, just today, the tabling materials.
I'm happy to meet too over the summer. That's fine. But I
Yeah,
mean, organizing the other commissioners, yeah.
Right. And so what I'd like, just a couple minutes, on Wednesday, the 12th, whatever, I think that's the day. That just to say who is willing and able to be part of the tabling team. And then, set together some follow-up scheduling with that group.
Sure. A lot of it can probably happen by. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we're going to get the what is the kind of materials that you shared, on that email earlier, Danielle, and
When did I share that?
You just shared it, I think today, the table and materials list. Current table and materials was the original email.
No. That was just a reply.
It's further up a thread, but it's got a CAP 2.0, a little info sheet about the commission, intercept survey, and a QR code if they want to look at our green fund.
Wait, where is that? I am not seeing that.
April
It's
29th.
Yeah, the original thread started, yeah, she's got the original date, April 29th.
Here,
My-
I'll forward it to you, Danielle.
My
Okay.
my version that I'm looking at on my phone is not showing me the attachments, so.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what
well, it was the top of a thread that a bunch of other stuff got, added to. But it includes a little summary about the commission, includes a summary sheet about the CAP 2.0, and a QR code for our fund and
Oh.
intercept.
I just forwarded it to you.
Okay. The green font. Okay. Okay. That sounds good.
And if we had any cute giveaways, that would be grand too, but the
Did we
world
have-
doesn't need plastic junk. We all agree on that one, so.
Did
Right.
we have material from the food waste committee that we wanted to share, or from any, was there something there? If no, fine,
I
that's
mean,
fine, I thought.
I don't think that there was anything specific. I mean, we could use their survey if we wanted to. And then some of the materials were buckets, compost buckets. So we could have, the idea was that we had those stickers also to give out for bins. So that would have information on them. So we could make a flyer that looked like that to put up somewhere on, or have on our table that people couldn't take, but they could look at it. And maybe it'd be a
Who's the
conversation.
best person? If I'm just gonna reach out to somebody in that group, who's the best person, do you think?
For waste, food waste? Mitra?
Okay, yeah, I'll drop her a note.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Because we've talked about it a
we're-
lot.
so we're fleshing out the what, and we're gonna pin down the who. And we've got 4 or 5 wheres, and we're gonna ask for additional suggestions on Wednesday. And pride was the one that came up today in terms of a where.
Lily, what neighborhood association are you in? Do you know?
Friendly, I think. I live on College Hill.
Okay. I think you're probably friendly.
Yeah, I'm wondering if most of our, what neighborhood associations we represent, besides Southeast.
Well, I'm Laurel Hill.
Well, okay. And
So
we have,
Finn
And I
is
talk
a
to
good
the
one.
person or church who's in office or at Jefferson West Side, as
is a
well
good,
as to our chair.
friendly area neighbors is a good one.
Mhm.
We have anybody in Cal Young or any on that side of the river?
I'm pulling up the roster, which has the wards in it. So there's Ward 3, Ward 2, Ward 8, Ward 1, and that's it.
Yeah, but some words encompass multiple neighborhood associations.
Right.
Yeah. So
So like,
I'm not sure then on that.
right, yeah, the word does not, you have to look at the map. So it's better just to ask people
Yeah.
since it's their address than,
Yeah,
see-
I'll try to do that in a couple of minutes at the meeting. Who would be willing to reach out to their neighborhood leaders? Who would be willing to table? Who's willing and able to help us with next steps?
And maybe if people don't know what association they're in, I mean, they may not. You could just send the link to the
Map.
city neighborhood association website because it has the list and it has the map. If you wanted to, you don't have to. It's just an idea. If somebody wanted to.
No, that's not a bad idea in terms of
Ready
just including.
Does, you know, your
And we
neighborhood.
can make the ask saying, we hope people would be willing to present, to join with us in presenting it in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did Friendly say they?
BMB. Say yes to do it in your backyard.
Yeah.
What'd you
Okay.
say?
Did they didn't say they were interested in tabling fan?
Who?
The friendly area neighbors?
No, I didn't hear back from Friendly.
Huh.
Looking at their website, they look super, I mean, they look very involved. Their last meeting was sustainability focused.
Wow.
Yeah, they're interesting because they kind of ebb and flow, and they have a good website. And they have an events calendar, which I'm pulling up.
I'm making a little star with them and I'll try to follow up with them.
I feel like they often have their picnic early, but maybe not. I'm looking to see when their picnic. I'm pretty sure they have a picnic every year at maybe at Washington Park.
Yeah, it says it's August 21st.
Oh, you are faster than me.
So we got a little bit of time to follow up with them, and I'll look at that list that you gave me, Devin, as to who's contacts from that neighborhood. I just put a little star on my to-do list here. So.
They have a
Okay.
sustainability team too, so.
Good. So I heard you, somebody, that maybe it was Lily, you said somebody said you suggested doing a Wheel of Fortune kind of game or something?
I don't know, I thought about that since I do that for student government, but also it's a lot of work.
It is some work. It's kind of fun. It's attractive. It gets kids interested. You know, you could quiz on what, you know, some sustainability questions, which would be kind of educational and fun. I think it's a decent idea. Do we have a wheel that we can use? The city used to have some that where you could just kind of make the pie shaped information, you know, questions and slip them in. I don't know if anything like that is still available for use.
Or where it would be, right?
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Fossil Free Coalition did some simple little questionnaires on a board, and
Right.
know,
And do it.
you know, which of the following is not a greenhouse gas kind of question. You know.
Yeah, I think that's.
So there is some possibility of that.
Well, I
Right.
think too, though, that survey that, I don't know who did the Sun picnic last year, but there's that survey of like what sustainability topics are most important to you. That's sort of interactive, and it gets people talking about like what,
Yeah.
you know, you hear what they're passionate about. So that's ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay, so
Dennis and
we should
Jan
add
were
that
both
to
there.
the list of materials.
Yeah.
But maybe if you're around in August, Lily, maybe the fan would be a good spot for you and you could meet people. I mean, you could, I don't know if Dennis is interested in this, but I mean, perhaps Lily could reach out to Fan and maybe reach out directly to their
Want to do it
sustainability.
from as a neighbor?
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
great. That would be
Yeah, I
great.
could do that.
I
Could
don't
you
know.
maybe, like send me what you've sent to other neighborhood associations? I'm just a
What
little,
then?
yeah, since we can't say that we're like you, it's different than if you're speaking as a commissioner, right?
Right. Yeah. I'll find that and send it to you, Lily, just as an example of what I said. Okay, so we're expanding the wheres and I'm going to work on the who. And I feel like we've got some basics for what that we hope to flesh out. And we've got a little bit of time. Well, we are coming up though to the you know, Jefferson West Side's coming up later this month. They're the next one on the 25th. And they're the only ones that are interested in us coming September too, so. Okay. I'll
June?
clarify some stuff with
Did you
them
say
too.
June 25th? That's a Tuesday.
I was just at another meeting where it came up too. That's what I wrote down, but
Huh.
the other meeting in another notebook. Because it's the neighborhood our church is in, so the church is reaching out to them to do something in the neighborhood too. But no, I don't have that with me. But I'll double check.
That's what your email said.
Yeah, and that's what I got back from them.
Hmm.
Oh, no, June 20. Did I say 23rd? 25th.
25th?
25th.
And that is a Tuesday. Is that not the regular
Yeah.
meeting?
I don't know.
Hmm.
And that was a meeting, not a picnic?
That looks like
No,
a,
that's their, um, that's their, um, that's their picnic, because as I said, my church is talking about tabling there too.
okay. I'm looking on their website to try to figure out uh where
Yeah, I'm
their
trying to get
calendar is, but I'm not finding a calendar.
I am sorry to say I'm having a little surgery on my face that day to take care of a spot. I might not be in good shape to
Oh dear.
bandages on my face.
I'm gonna say that I'm probably available, but I'd like, again, we say this over and over. I would love to see other commissioners maybe get involved as well, especially if you
Right.
have somebody who's in Jefferson West Side. I don't know if we do or not. And then, yeah, I have just a couple of presentation questions that are, if we have time
Mhm.
for the tabling stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what we can do with tabling for right now. I'm just,
Okay,
yeah,
so
go for it.
one, do we want to spend time changing the presentation to
Drafting a preface statement, I don't see that it really needs that.
right, that's what I mean. I mean, there's some things that when you're actually giving it that are really redundant in a way that you don't realize until you're saying it out loud, that like, oh, I just said that. You're kind of, but because you're going from, the slides don't necessarily flow with the notes. I know, and I know that I was pretty dependent on the notes, and I imagine other commissioners might also be pretty dependent on the notes. I think it just depends on who it is. So I think that part, I don't necessarily know if I guess we have to have that approved as well. But I'm just saying, is that something we want to think about tweaking in the future?
Hi, Danielle.
Bye, Danielle.
I think
Oh, yeah.
we should consider it a work in progress, and keep refining it. Was it the parts that felt kind of clunky to you? Was that the slides themselves or the notes or both?
It was kind of the notes, really.
Yeah,
The slides change, but a lot of times if you look at the notes, it may be helpful just to like put the notes in a separate document, and as you read through like all the notes at once, you realize how you're kind of saying the same thing over and over and over. And that's not necessarily bad. It was distracting. I was distracting myself with feeling like I was saying the same thing over and over.
in my mind, the notes are a suggestion, and they're a help, but people don't have, everybody's going to want to fine tune the language a little bit to suit
Right.
themselves. And
Correct.
so I don't think there's much of a problem for you to take your copy of it and edit it down. And then if we think that there are things that we should change consistently for everybody because they're redundant, then we can just do that.
Yeah, I think
Right,
it
yeah,
just,
I think it, yeah, I would add, Jan, just summarize what I just heard you saying too, is that it's sort of guidelines.
Yeah.
These are the kinds of things we suggest you'd want to share.
but when you're doing it and you don't, it's a little like, maybe it's just the way I do things, but like, it was kind of a lot of material. Like, yeah, I know some of the things, but like this, I was presenting someone else's material in a lot of ways, right? And that's always tricky to
Right.
sort of navigate. But maybe it's a me problem, but I just felt like if we're going to hand it out to commissioners, I'm not going to be the only one that relies on the notes a
No,
lot. There's
sure,
going
if
to
I'm
be,
doing it, I'm going to
right?
use the spot. Right.
Because I feel like there's things I really know about, and then there's other things where I'm really more dependent on the notes, and it's kind of around. But I felt it was just, yeah, it just was I think it could be easier to present is all. I think there could be more flow with
Mhm.
not the slides, but with like being able to really get into a groove and have
So,
a theme. And I think part of that, Dennis, will be corrected and the rest will be more apparent when there is this preface
mm,
that sort of ties everything together and is foreshadowing for what you're going to talk about and sort of puts more detail into who the commission is and what their role is. I think that needs to be, to Dennis said it really, really well when we were actually there. You said like exactly what needs to go into the beginning that's not
Right,
there
yeah,
right now.
just a short preface statement. We're here as members of the, appointed members of the commission. And the commission advises council. And we want to share with you today some information about the city's efforts and planning process. And to remind you that we are a voice that speaks on behalf of citizens to the council.
Ma-
So we want to tell you about what's going on and then hear from you about your questions and how we might more effectively serve the whole community. That kind of a
Yeah.
preface. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going
Up,
to
Dennis?
tell you,
Would you jot that down on paper for people? I think that's a great idea.
yeah, I'll do it right.
And then you said something really great too, reminding people that we don't create policy.
Well,
Right.
I think because that was, people want us to be hearing and also like, we're gonna fight for whatever the thing is you say. Yeah,
go do this, right?
yep,
We are an advisory body.
yep.
If they want to lean on policy, call your counselor. Is part of it. So we could sneak that in there someplace too.
Yeah, I think that would, yeah, that would be helpful. Lily, were you still interested in maybe giving the presentation to, this is how my brain works, your mayor, your
Youth,
adolescent mayor group?
Your
youth,
youth
Oh,
advisory.
Yeah.
we just had a presentation from Danielle and Ian last Wednesday.
Oh,
Right.
It
So
was,
you heard from staff.
yeah, we had like a good discussion about sustainability. It was very, very involved, yeah. But and also I just double checked and it looks like the picnic date of August 21st is from 2022. And they
oh,
updated, yeah.
that doesn't surprise me. Like I said, they kind of ebb and flow with leadership and it just sort of depends. But I think you could reach out and ask, when they're having an event, if they're having an event and are they interested?
And I'll double check and if I send something, Lily, to a chair there, I'll CC you on
Okay, great.
it. Okay. So
Also,
yeah,
I have to leave at
it'll be
3.
next week before I can
We
look
do
at it.
too.
I'm gone part of this week and I'm in the pulpit Sunday. So the following Sunday. But yeah, this Sunday. I'm in already. Anyway,
What day is it?
I
What's
know,
happening?
I
what did you
know.
say? Did you say you need to go?
Pardon?
Sorry, I thought I heard some, oh, oh, I see. Yeah, okay. I'm, okay, go ahead. I was just gonna say, I'm
What's
really sorry to hear what your group had to say about sustainability topics in the city, what the youth group said.
Yeah, we talked about so Danielle presented about building emissions
Mhm.
and I think it was maybe the most involved meeting we've had as the mayor's youth advisory council all year. We had some like great discussions. I was surprised, to be honest, since sometimes during presentations, there won't be that many questions or discussion even when we try to start that, but it was really great.
Oh, cool.
What were they interested in? Like, do you remember some of the highlight questions, or if not, that's okay too.
I
Kind of.
feel like just everything. I mean, we talked about so many different things. Like one focus was how, like in the Whitaker district neighborhood, there's more emissions, like higher asthma rates in students there, stuff like that. So maybe things that youth think about more.
Mhm.
Cool. So it sounds like they kind of used you as a focus group in their outreach efforts. That's really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. Cool. Thanks.
Great.
Sorry, Dennis, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just curious.
No, no worries. No, that's very good to know in terms of the sense that, we don't need to go there if they had a good conversation with staff about where the city's at on CAP 2.0. Because I'm amazed, how few people really get it. And there's so much effort going on that people aren't aware of. So that's why we're trying to go out on the road and tell them at least a little bit more. So that's the point.
Well, Lily, if you come
May want
across,
to, looking ahead into work plans, to continue to seek opportunities to table in subsequent years would be included in our ongoing work plan without necessarily needing to establish a committee, but we would continue to look for opportunities to share in the larger community around the work of the commission. That may just be a bullet point in the work plan for next year. It will give us the authority to continue to do it when it's approved.
Mhm. It
I can
sounds
do
good.
that, but I can also see the importance of maintaining the committee to keep it rolling.
Yeah.
I'm a little like, just by how hard it is for us to get the commissioners involved, I feel like it almost needs a core of people that are always asking who can be involved.
Wouldn't hurt to have, yeah, a recurring meeting just to say, okay, how are we doing? What comes next? What needs updating?
Right,
Yeah.
and we now know timing is, if we're gonna get presentations at a neighborhood, it would be fall meetings. And we would wanna touch base in the spring about tabling opportunities in the summer.
Yeah.
So even at that level, I think that's a good notion, but not try to maintain an ongoing committee necessarily. That's my thoughts.
Yep. No, this has been good. It's been a good year. I feel
Yeah.
like lots of,
And I mean, part of it, the presentation that Devin did, I was just like, come on, you people, this is really good stuff. They had just heard it, and the presentation that was put together is really good content. We just need to find people who are willing to listen to the content or engage with us in dialogue about it is what the tabling goal is.
yeah,
So.
for sure.
I think once we get that presentation out to some of these actual neighborhood associations where they have sustainability committees and people who are interested, yeah, I don't think that the neighborhood leaders group is necessarily indicative of what we're going to encounter when we get it out a little more.
That's
So.
true. And the only way we'll find out if they've got a sustainability committee is through those neighborhood leaders. But maybe that's the next email to all of them, just saying, I previously contacted you about this presentation. We're also interested. Do you have committees within your neighborhood that are particularly looking at this area?
Right. I know some of them do. I don't know which ones do off the top of my head. Fan
Do the,
is one I already knew about because they
yeah,
sometimes come to my meeting.
do the websites usually say the websites for the neighborhood associations?
It
With,
depends on the association. I think some don't even have
hmm.
websites,
Oh, wow. Okay.
but
Right.
like,
And I looked at Jefferson West Sides and it wasn't real current.
Hmm.
right, because so recently
Volun-
I spent a good amount of my day yesterday updating our website. So it's
Right.
really like it floats around and who's doing it and who knows how. And
Right.
I have no experience in that whatsoever, but I've taught myself how to do the very basic things of changing the website and adding things onto it and removing things. But a lot of people don't
Right.
have that capacity, and the nature of a neighborhood association a lot of time is retired people and tech is not always the strong suit there,
Right.
with
Well,
exceptions.
and who in leadership are champions of a particular issue? I mean, Laurel Hill Valley, there's a lot of trail work parties going on,
Right.
because one of the leaders is pushing it. So,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty interesting how that falls out.
well, it's true wherever we go, who
Right.
are the champions issues?
All volunteer
Yeah.
committee and commission world. It's like who wants to do what, and if they don't want to do it, they usually won't do it.
Right.
But
So I've got a little bit of homework to do in terms of, I'll work on a draft of the preface statement. I'll reach out to some friendly follow-up and I'll CC Lily on it. I will let Bethel know that we just don't have availability, too many conflicts ranging from graduations to memorials on that particular day, but we hope to stay in touch and connect with them further in the future. And part of the stuff with them before, I mean, we had that presentation of the work they've been partnering with Beyond Toxics is there's some good work going on in that neighborhood.
yeah.
So we want to figure out where we can be helpful for the work they're already doing. So
I have a question, Devin. How would you like to think about doing some updates or revisions to the slideshow? I mean, do you
I mean,
think?
I can work on it if it's in the Google Doc, right? Or not. I mean, I have a copy of it. It was kind of confusing at the end because Daniel forgot to send it to me until the last minute, and that was a little bit frustrating as well. But
I just think it might be good to capture since while it's still relatively fresh in your mind of where the places were that needs a little fine tuning.
yeah, I think what I'll probably do for my own benefit, and then I can share it with you, is after this week and the dust settles for me a little bit, I can like pull it up, the PowerPoint up, and then copy all the notes. And what would work good for me is to put them in like, I don't know, Word document or something like that, where it's all just like a
Mhm.
stream of consciousness, like without the
right,
slides, all in order.
text,
And I think that
right,
might
it's text,
really,
slide 1, slide 2, slide 3.
right. And the words are all there, and I could make that flow from slide to slide a lot better than each slide in a vacuum, which is kind of what it felt like when I was reading the material. It was like, oh,
As somebody who listened, it sounded better, I think, than it felt to you.
well, I
But
was doing it on the fly, right? That was sort of like reading it, processing it, and then spewing something else out of my mouth, which was challenging when you're doing it. But
I'm just reiterating what I
thank
heard
you.
sounded pretty good. So
Thank you. One would hope after being a teacher for 20 years that I might be able to do it, but I'm thinking like how to streamline it so everyone is comfortable, that is handed like, oh, here, Lily, here it is. And you don't have to do like that processing in the moment. Like,
I think
you
that'd
know,
be great. That'd be
yeah,
great.
I'll start with that, with just looking at the notes and seeing if I can get the notes a little
and
more.
I'll send you a preface statement
That'd be
that
great. Yeah.
attached to the.
I also have the notes from the last education and outreach meeting, if you need those.
Oh, that's always nice to send out. I mean, then we have them.
I think I sent them out, but you said to take notes on the things that you thought needed to be like revamped. So
Oh.
if
Oh, right. Sorry. This is why we take notes, because
So you can remember. Awesome, Lily. That's great.
thank you. Yeah, send me that, Lily. Thank you. If you would send so I can have all that stuff in one spot. Yeah.
Awesome.
here, I'll send it in the chat right now. Okay.
Oh, okay. It's a Google Doc. Great. I'm going to pull that up right now. Thank you. One thing, I'm just going back because I thought maybe I heard you say something. So Lily, you are free as a commissioner. You can email and a member of this committee FAN if you wanted to and say, hello, I'm Lily Yao, I'm a member of FAN and I'm a sustainability commissioner. I'm curious when your events are and if you'd be interested, I mean, in tabling, or you could reach out to the sustainability committee as well as a commissioner. You could do that. I mean, we know you're doing it and that's not, I've done that already. You know, we do that in a similar way, like reaching out to Jennifer Yeh or whatever. You don't need to be like a private person to be able to send that email. You can put your commission
Right.
tag on yourself.
And
Okay.
there's even been discussion in the commission meetings that we know these people are going out to do this outreach and education work. So yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you've said something before and I was just wanted to follow up with that you
Okay.
can do that. Yeah. But that's still within reason.
Yep.
But all right, I don't have anything
No,
else.
I don't know.
That's
that
all my
I have
homework.
anything more we can try to pull off today. So,
All right. Good work, team.
all right.
Thank you all.
Hey, Devin,
Thank
can you?
you all. All right.
Yeah, if
Have a
Dennis
grand
doesn't shut it
weekend.
down.
We will see you next Wednesday.
Yeah, next week.
Bye all. And I guess I have authority to end the meeting since I'm the co-host.
do. Give me a
Okay.
call, Jan, if you want.
Yeah, just do that. Okay.
Okay.
See y'all.
Bye, Lily.
Bye.
Thanks, Lily.